Fast drop, brother.
You got that. I didn't get that in. It didn't record before you said that. Damn it.
Yeah, you know my first 20 seconds is the best part of my podcast. And you missed half of it.
Yeah.
Howdy, Nate.
How's it?
Life is good.
Good.
What does your hat say? Grand Canyon?
Yeah, this is a...
You picked that up at the draft party?
I did, yep.
Nice.
And I should have got a different size because I'm on the very last buckle.
You must have got a kid's one or something.
I just got a big head, brother. I'm up to almost 7 3/4 in fitted heads.
Wow.
If only head size correlated with intelligence, you'd have something going for you.
Yeah, no, Barry Bonds, McGuire, all those meatheads. No, doesn't.
So you're saying you're on steroids?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, totally, dude. Ripped. That's people accuse me of that all the time, just being a workout junkie, lifting weights. Yeah, my normal day.
Yeah. You look it. So how was your guys' football weekend?
I won. How'd you guys do?
Not good.
Yeah. I don't get to do that often to both of you. Well, this year. Most years I don't, but this year I do.
Yeah, I blew it.
Yes, one more win than you, Nate. I know. It's only one more. One more than you.
Yeah, this might have been the most heartbreaking loss of the season only because of how close it was and how it happened. It was at the very last second. They're driving down the field, and I saw the writing on the wall. I said, if they kick a field goal, I lose. If they score a touchdown and kick an extra point, I lose. The only chance that I have to win is if they just do nothing. And so I pretty much knew that I had lost before they actually did it. But I've got calls out to the governor of Georgia. I'm asking him to find me like 0.53 more points. I think who knows? We'll see. Maybe there will be a scoring correction. Although I see that those happened already last night, and
every now and then you surprise me, Nate, because sometimes you go in and do the math to prove your point. Sometimes you don't. Did you do all the fractional scorings and see if you would have won if we didn't change the rules?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I agreed with that rule change, so I don't really care about that. I'm not here to blame your rule change for my loss.
Good.
I would totally
Yeah,
do
you
that.
would.
I would. I can only blame myself for the lack of Jawans in my lineup this weekend. That was clearly an oversight on my part, but
you haven't played in a month, though, have you?
I haven't been playing them.
Yeah, you haven't been. Yeah.
No, but
I had one of those weeks where it's like, sure, if I played Javonte Williams over Christian McCaffrey, I would have won.
Yeah,
but
is that true?
Yeah, Javonte scored
rough.
18.7. McCaffrey only scored 14. So I'm pretty much if I played Javonte over anybody. If I played him over Kenneth Walker, if I played him over Waddle, Keenan Allen, anybody. But I was never playing Javonte. So
right.
It is what it is.
Yep. That's right.
It is what it is. That is true.
Should we look at the standings?
I actually had Xavier Worthy in my lineup at one point, but I realized early in the weekend, it wasn't on Sunday morning, but early in the weekend, I realized I was only playing Worthy because Alex was playing Mahomes, and Alex is a Chiefs fan, and blah, blah, blah. And I thought to myself, that's bad process. And, if you do good process, what's the right play? And if I did good process, the right play was Keenan Allen over Worthy, just based on the number of targets that he's been getting. I get it. Keenan Allen's not having a great year either.
Yeah. It's a tough call you don't want him to make.
Yeah.
I clicked into
Congratulations,
that.
Alex.
Yeah. Congrats. I clicked into the game, the Chiefs or the Bears game, and I heard the announcer saying something like, Keenan Allen, has the most dangerous lateral movement in the league. Not vertical, but lateral. Like he's very adept at moving sideways compared to most other receivers in the league, apparently.
Like, was he talking just in the small jump cut, like running backs lateral, or actually just running across the field in a drag route?
I guess I've never really heard anybody praise somebody for their lateral movement. I thought that was kind of funny, but
yeah, he's always been known as one of the best route runners, or at least when he was younger, he was known as one of the best route runners. And maybe that's what they're talking about is that, he quickly jumps to the left or jumps to the right, and kind of throws the guy off. But I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, they do talk about that, Ben, quite a bit in the draft process, lateral quickness for jump cuts, but I hear it in running backs more than receivers. But
Yeah. It was just interesting. It was just the way he said it. He's like, not vertically, but lateral. Like it's like a dig at his age. Is that a dig at his age, kind of, or I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Hey, while we're regurgitating information here,
Oh,
I actually wanted to share a story of something that I saw on a TikTok or something like that not that long ago. And honestly, it was very encouraging for one of my players. It hasn't really come into fruition at all this year. Tank Dell isn't the superstar that, or the great player that he should be.
Bummer.
But I don't know when this was recorded, but CJ Stroud was on a podcast with what's his name? Who has the podcast from the Cowboys? The defensive player,
Who
linebacker.
doesn't have a podcast?
oh, Michael
these days?
Parsons. Michael Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons. He has his own podcast. And one thing he does on his podcast is he says, okay, I'm going to build my best defense using only active players, and you build your best offense. And then we're going to draw up a play, and we're going to see if my defense can stop your offense. It's a silly little exercise they do.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud, of course, he picks like all the best players. He's got Saquon on his backfield. He's got on one side, he's got superstar wide receiver like Chase, and the other side, he's got Justin Jefferson. He's building his whole offense. He has himself at quarterback. Who does he put in the slot? Tank Dell. He puts in the slot with all these superstars. He puts his best buddy in the slot. And then when he draws up the play, who does the touchdown go to? Tank Dell. So in this exercise that he does on this podcast, you would think, based off of the way he sees football, that Tank Dell would be like this superstar, right? Like,
yeah.
But no, I saw that right before lineups were due last week, and I was like, Tank Dell, this is going to be the week. And then, he just had his regular old mind.
Are they best buds? I don't know that about them or not. Or are you just saying that in passing?
No, yeah, that was actually the reason that Tank Dell kind of went, skyrocketed up draft boards his rookie year, because the rumors came out that CJ Stroud got drafted by the Texans, and he actually called the GM and said, "Go draft Tank Dell. That's the guy I want." And that them two have been friends since like high school. So
I wonder.
That's sort of the rumor behind it.
So it makes me question, A, does he believe that? Which it's hard to believe that he really believes that. Or is Tank Dell soft mentally and he needs to be protected by his best friend? Because if he didn't put him in there, it'd cause a problem. So I just questions down in my head about that. That's weird.
Well, there's something to be said about loyalty. You know what I mean? Your boy, it's your boy.
Not over truth.
It's on a podcast.
Not over truth.
It's not a test. This is a podcast.
CJ Stroud is his own brand. And if he's known for lying or not being truthful because he has to protect feelings, that affects maybe long-term over contracts and,
I think
sponsors and things.
I think you're overthinking it. I think it's just his boy. He might even been there. He might even been there in the room. You know what I mean? Like he could have been there hanging with him. Like he could, I'm going to leave out my boy. I'm going to put somebody else ahead of him.
See, that would have been funnier.
That's actually a good point.
Somebody else
might
and
have
pan over to him in the side.
He might have been there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. Like, that is funny.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, the way they connected their rookie year, you would think that's kind of how CJ sees Tank, is that that he's that kind of player. It's just kind of a weird that they haven't been able to connect that way again this year, even after all the injuries to the Nico and then Diggs. You would think Tank Dell would have gone nuclear the last few weeks, and he was decent. He had some nice games, but nothing like
I haven't been happy with him.
CJ sees his best friend, right?
Well, who has been going off on their team? Who's
Joe Mixon?
Yeah,
Joe
exactly.
Mixon.
The running back, exactly. But that's
and
what
Nico, the first few weeks of the season before he got injured, he was leading the league in yards.
Well, and Diggs until he got hurt too. I mean, they were just pumping targets to him. He wasn't having huge games, but lots of targets.
Yeah,
well, he was also making things happen.
Lots of receptions.
Fucking Diggs.
Do you guys feel the same way about Stroud so far this year as you did through last year? Because I think he had a lot more hype last year. I don't think people are buying it as much this year. How do you guys see him? And maybe it's more a dynasty question. Okay, let's go dynasty. Has his value dropped this year in dynasty?
Certainly his value has dropped amongst the dynasty community. But speaking from my own personal experience, I faded Stroud in all my dynasty startups, and even in the dynasty leagues that were ongoing. I didn't try and trade for him or make any moves for him because I felt he was overhyped. He had a great rookie year, and in comparison to other rookies, it was excellent. But we make the mistake sometimes of thinking, oh, because he's young and he looked good as a rookie, he's gonna look that great or even better. This is only the floor, right? And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not the floor. That's sometimes the ceiling, or that's just what he is, right? The main reason that I faded him is because he doesn't rush, and I don't want a quarterback who doesn't have the Konami code. And I felt like in startup drafts he was going number 3 or number 4. Matt knows this in dynasty startups, and I was no way I'm taking Stroud over Lamar Jackson. Right? That's crazy. I don't care that there's a 5-year difference in age. It's just and it's easy to say now.
I took Love over him in a startup. I just believed in his long term more. But
I noticed
that's yet to be seen, obviously. But
you and I did 2 startups together, and I think you took Love in both of them, which I also disagreed with for the same reason that Love doesn't have the wheels, right?
Right. I know the rules, but can't always get those guys. You got to pivot sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Only one guy can get Lamar, unfortunately.
The smartest guy in the room.
Well, Lamar wasn't going number 1 overall. I mean, number 1 was still Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's too funny.
All right, so am I the only one left who can have a winning record at the end of the season out of the 3 of us? Or Nate, you still can't, right?
No, the best I could do at the end of the year would be at the end of the regular season. The best I could be a 7-7 if I win the next 3.
Brutal. As a group, guys, fucking brutal.
Yeah, we did not play well this year. I mean,
I thought I played well. My players sucked.
Yeah, well, I thought I did everything. I thought, I mean, dude, losing for me, looking at because I was looking at my team again this week, thinking like, what? How did I look at my team and I'm like, it looks
Let's break it down.
Looks like a decent roster, my starters, but I forget that I lost Mixon and I lost AJ Brown for like the first 5 weeks of the season. You know what I mean? So like, I was struggling without the guys that I had drafted to help me put me in a position to win. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, don't look at my bench. I know I still have.
You had Jordan Mason, Joe Mixon, Ramondre. I mean, you had running backs coming out your butt. I mean, you should have been fine there. ATN
didn't do shit this year.
Yeah, I've never been a believer in him.
He's had a subpar year. Yeah. Very subpar.
Yeah. So Ben, I think you're the only team that's mathematically.
I think I'm definitely mathematically eliminated.
I'm mathematically eliminated from division. There's no way that I can win my division. It's impossible.
Me too. Because I'm in
Jeff's. Wild card. It would take so many things happening, right? I need all the right teams to win every week. I could still qualify for a wild card. The funny thing is if one of those dozen things goes wrong, I get eliminated just from one of them, right? It's like Jenga. You pull out one piece and the whole thing comes tumbling down. And honestly, I feel like the one thing that's gonna crush me is I'm gonna lose a game because I can't afford to lose one game, right? So I'm probably gonna lose at least one of the 3 division games, and that'll be my downfall.
Okay, let's break it down. You're counting Sean as a loss to you. You're counting Steve and Josh. Okay.
Not necessarily. I'm not picking out any one team. In fact, I have great matchups against Sean. I play Sean when Lamar's on a bye, right?
Okay.
And I play Steve this week when Steve's got a bunch of buys. So I mean, I have good matchups.
But all your buys were in the teens, you said. So these are your bye weeks too now, right?
I do have some buys, yeah, but
I just remember when you said that early in the season, you had all teen bye weeks. I thought, and
I do. I have quite a few, but I can beat anybody in our division. I think. With the matchups, I just going 3-0, and on top of that, needing the right teams to win. Like I need all the teams with winning records to continue to win, to go 3-0 in their division games. I need Jeff to go 3-0. I need Sean to go 3-0 and win his division. I need I don't really care who. I guess between Bobby and Alex,
yeah, they're all losing in the other division.
But yeah, I need the winning teams to do really well, and then all the middle of the pack to kind of fall back so that I can jump up to 7-7 and secure a wild card.
Hey Ben, you still here?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm just along for the ride, man. I'm enjoying enjoying.
All right, well then I'm going to give Nate a hell about why did you pick up Deontay Johnson? You can't play him this week because he hasn't done shit. He has a bye in 14. You can't ever play the guy. Why would you do that?
It's a good question.
Is he playing? Is he playing defense? Are you playing defense?
No, I mean, I dropped him because I did the math. I can't play him this week because he's had no catches in 4 weeks, basically. No plays. So even if he has a huge game next week, what are you play him 1 week and then a bye? I mean, at best, best, Nate can play him 1 week if he has 2 huge weeks in a row, which is the math doesn't work out. So I was just giving him, just teasing him about it.
You're saying 1 week in the regular season, but you're failing to see that there's also a loser bowl coming up, or in the unlikely scenario that I end up in the playoffs, there's the 3 weeks of playoffs to go. I mean, honestly, I felt like I just had a dead end spot at the back of my roster, and I believe in the talent, right? Sometimes when guys get traded to a new team, they can take a few weeks to get acclimated. I think Deontay Johnson is a better wide receiver than Rashad Bateman. I think Deontay Johnson, even though he's older, I think he potentially could be a bigger target earner than Zay Flowers. And those tight ends have been inconsistent. So, if I'm going to burn a roster spot, with I don't know who I dropped to get him.
And he's the first guy you're going to drop. He's the first guy you're going to drop if you find somebody else. I'm looking at your roster.
Yeah. The talent is there, right? Sometimes you have to buy the talent, right?
Yeah, I get it. I just felt I couldn't play him with confidence, and so that's why I put him down. But I'll tell you, he's made that wide receiver room better just by being there. The rest of them are playing better because I think they want to keep their jobs. Bateman, especially, guys like that. So I think the best thing the coach did was bring him in, even without him doing good. He's helping the team.
I actually read something just a few hours ago that was after I had already picked him up that made me second guess and think, oh, maybe I should just drop him. And it was that there's somebody, a beat writer, I don't know from who, and he said the only reason that the Ravens made that trade is because at the price, there was no reason not to, right?
Yeah.
They basically paid nothing for him. It was a 7th round swap. They didn't give up a 7th round pick.
Right.
They got back one too. So it was a 7th round swap, basically free. And, the Ravens, they have Super Bowl aspirations, but the Ravens never play 3 wide receiver sets. And it's very unlikely that unless Bateman or Flowers gets hurt, it's very unlikely that Johnson will ever even get any play at all.
Yeah.
But if one of those 2 players does get hurt, he could be very valuable, right?
Sure. Although maybe that may be true, but I still think if anybody goes down in a big game and they need somebody, likely he's going to be the guy because he's proven it over and over again. He fades away when they don't need him, but when they need him, he's their guy, man. So anyways, that's enough about this.
Sure good at fumbling.
He does that sometimes, man. His big games are pretty fun to watch.
Well, that first game,
athletic.
I mean, he lit the world on fire. week 1.
Yeah.
It was week 1, right? Where he came out and just had that huge game, and he was like, everybody went swooping for him to grab him, trade for him, whatever he could do to get him, and then he kind of just never did anything again. Like not that good, anyways.
Hey Matt, did you pick up Tommy DeVito in one of our leagues?
Hell yeah, magic in a bottle with neighbors, buddy.
Which league was that you picked him up?
In the one where Daniel Jones in the Dynasty.
Okay, so this is a prime example of East Coast sniping, because that news did not come out. Us West Coasters were still awake, right? And I happened to wake up that day. I don't remember which day it was. I think maybe Monday morning. I woke up at 5 a.m. And one of the first things I see is Matt picks up Tommy DeVito. And I didn't have to search for it. I knew what had happened because I knew I had already heard that Daniel Jones was probably going to get benched. We assumed that it was going to be Drew Lock, but as soon as I saw that you picked up DeVito, I already knew that they announced DeVito. So I immediately went to all my leagues to see if I could grab him. But of course, it's Monday, so a lot of my players have already played.
Yeah.
In one league, actually, the Dynasty you and I play in, the startup one that we did on Sleeper, I went to go pick him up. He's available. I go click yes, and then I have to decide who to drop. And as I'm scrolling to decide who to drop, somebody else
grabbed. Yep. Oh, I think that's a league the guy came on and complained a little bit, not a lot, and goes, man, I wish we could have all bid on him. And I'm like,
yeah, he came in the message and was like, yeah, it would have been nice if we could have bid. And I agree. It's a flaw in that league that you can just go pick up a player like that without any.
Our league too.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I dropped Trey Lance. So have fun having Trey Lance, dude. I know people are thinking he might be something too. So I made a calculated decision to trade one subpar QB for another.
Right. I would say that Trey Lance is, I know we argued about this last week. We don't have to do it again. I would say that his ceiling career is probably still higher than Tommy DeVito's ceiling, career ceiling. But I was able to get DeVito in. Ben doesn't like that. He's getting the stink face. He's doing the guitar solo.
I just love this whole ceiling.
Well,
discussion
only because DeVito doesn't have a ceiling, right? I mean,
no. How do you know his ceiling?
Well, here's the thing.
He's still so new. I mean,
he's a New York guy. He's from there. He lives there, right down the street. Goes home for mom cooks breakfast and
Hell
does his
yeah,
laundry and the whole thing. They're just trying to catch magic for the last half of the season, get neighbors going. I mean, that's the reason they picked him over Locke. He may not be any better. He may be. I mean, that'd be awesome if he is.
Are they
But
trying to catch magic, or are they
Trying to get a
trying
spark.
to guarantee themselves a high draft pick
trying to get a spark, I believe.
or a high draft
or a tank.
Well, we just talked about Tank, dude. He's not worth that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah,
able to
I
pick
don't
up
know.
DeVito
You're
in a league, a dynasty that I play in where I'm rebuilding and have no chance of doing anything this year. And my one weakness is running back. I grabbed DeVito that Monday morning, put him on my team, and then I started going to all the competing teams and just offering him to those competing teams. And what was I offering him for? I wasn't offering him from players that are going to help those teams win this year. The first one I went after was Marshawn Lloyd, right? That one got rejected. I also offered him for Estime. You know which one finally got accepted?
Corum.
Nah, I traded Tommy DeVito for Ray Davis.
Ray Davis,
No
your guy.
way.
Yeah,
Love
he
that
was great.
trade. Love that.
So
trade.
sometimes you do just have to ask. God
Yeah.
damn it.
You know what?
That's ridiculous.
You know what, dude?
Oh.
That's so funny. I told Frankie because Frankie's been like,
All right. Ben's dating advice. Go.
no. I told him the other day because he
Just ask.
in the way I was teaching him that lesson because he was asking for something, but then he cut himself off before he finished asking me for it, and it's no big deal. He just wanted a fucking piece of candy or something.
Yeah.
But I told him, I was like, look, man, you miss all the shots you don't take, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't have to explain it any more to him. It clicked in his head and he's like, Dad, can I have that piece of candy? I'm like, sure. And then like 5 minutes later, he fucking shot his shot again on something else. And I was like, I just started laughing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's never that. I opened a fucking can of worms now though, you know?
Yep.
Like,
I mean,
but
great.
it's good advice to learn because, you know, like, you know, that's good at
100%.
8 years old, you know what I mean? Or 9 years old now. Shit.
No, it's great advice, and I
yeah,
try and teach
yeah.
my kids the same lesson. But it does apply to fantasy football because you never know who needs a starting quarterback, or who might be insecure about the starting quarterbacks they have. When the
Yeah.
trade deadline is this weekend in those leagues, playoffs are coming up in a few weeks. Maybe he only has two quarterbacks, but one of them is shaky. I mean, why not trade a Ray Davis who may not be able to help you win a championship this year? And so that's why I'm out there just like, hey, who wants him, right?
Yeah.
That's a
not gonna help me
crazy
this year.
trade.
You know how
Crazy
hard
trade.
it was. You know how hard it was for me to fucking resist the urge to say no and turn around and like start laughing when he asked
Well,
me.
no,
for
that's a
it.
good lesson too. There's consequences. You know, that's a good
I
lesson.
know, but that part of my back of my head, I was like, okay, you know, you're trying to teach him something. Don't be an asshole.
yeah,
You know, it was pretty funny though. Let's talk Dynasty a little bit. Anybody want to talk some
Dynasty or Empire?
Ooh,
Dynasty.
we could talk Empire too.
I'm just asking so I can click on the right link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Empire, I lost to Jamie last week on the same fucking drive that I lost to Alex on. The very last drive of the game, Jamie passed me. So
That's
that
tough.
wasn't fun.
I play her this week. It's a big game. We're both 6-5.
Yeah, Ryan and I took out Bobby handily, 143 to 119, and sitting at 8-3. We're feeling really good about our chances in this league moving forward. It's so funny though. Ryan and I just get these like I get random texts from Ryan throughout the week. Just you know, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna, you know, he's very active in this league. For his because I mean it's his first time in Dynasty, right? So
Yeah.
you know,
First time in Dynasty. And when we invited him to the league, he actually didn't want to play in the league unless he could have a co-manager because he was worried that he wouldn't have time to
yeah, no, he's very on top of it, and like he's thinking ahead of things. You know what I mean? Which is what you have to do in a Dynasty league. You know what I mean? So I've been enjoying being a co-manager with him this year. It's fun.
Yeah.
Ben, you're top dog in that league, dude. 8-3.
Yeah, we're sitting pretty.
I'm 6-5, pulling up the rear of the playoffs. Nate is 5-6, but Nate has actually scored more points than three teams that are in the playoffs. So you feel you can still make it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean the playoffs are still within my reach in that league. You know, I just have to win 2 of the next 3, I think, and I'll qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who's in your division? That one? Who are your
Nope.
matchups going to be?
I got Jeff, I think, is one of them.
You're Whoville, right? So Jeff, Steve,
Steve, and Sean.
and Sean.
Yep.
Yeah.
What does Sean's name mean? Have we talked about this? I don't know what that name means.
Oh, you don't know what that means?
I don't know. No. What is that?
Well, the word "wet" is Filipino slang. It's I'm actually Googling it to make sure I don't say this wrong because my wife would kill me.
No,
Okay,
no,
it is.
don't look. That's a better podcast. Don't look, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
it is exactly what I thought it was. It's it's the buttocks, it's the butt, the ass,
Okay.
you know,
Ass
and
sweat.
his name is Wet Sweat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sweat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right.
By the way, if I change my team name again this year, it'll be because I'm officially eliminated from all playoff contention, and I've already decided what my new team name is going to be, and I have to give credit to Sean's hilarious wife because we were out partying at LCD Sound System the other night, and we were about to drink some tequila, and she said, "Tequila from Manila," and I thought that was hilarious, and I was like,
funny.
"That's going to be my next team name, Tequila from Manila."
Tequila from Manila. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Ben, you won 3. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to make the playoffs. I haven't made the playoffs in the other. Oh no, I did make it in Dynasty with like a 6-6 or something. But I haven't been competitive in a Dynasty playoffs in the Degenerate League, so I'd like to be competitive in Empire this year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, I regret to inform you that if I do move my way up into wild card, you're one of the teams that's at risk of me taking your spot. So
I get it. If I
how'd
take
you do
out
against me
Jamie
this
this
year?
week and I'm favored by, I mean, it's basically a 50-50 toss up. We're both at 6 and 5. That would do pretty well to get me in there. You know, I'd have to finish off strong, but
I'm looking at
Steve-
tiebreakers right now too, and I'm remembering that the reason that you hold the tiebreaker over me is because a few weeks ago you beat me 130 to 129.
Yep.
That 1 point might actually give you a playoff spot.
Yep.
It's not how you start.
Too bad we didn't have fractional scoring this year. You might have pulled that one out.
Maybe.
Yep. I'm glad that's already decided for next year. Those are all our leagues are going to that. That's good. That's fun. Better.
I think we should at least mention that Nathan and I are facing each other in Dynasty this week.
Oh, go to Dynasty. Okay. Nice.
Not only are we facing each other, Ben, but this is the first time I think all season that I'm favored to lose.
Yeah. You're favored to lose. Just
Yeah,
remember
favored to
that.
lose. But
Ooh, Mike Evans is back.
I've been blowing teams out all year, and it hasn't been close. But this week I have Burrow, Bijan Robinson, Brees Hall, and Jamar Chase on a bye.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's like brutal. And you're still almost 50-50 with him.
Yeah.
Almost. But I got
You'd
that.
kill him. You would kill him if you had your full team. Holy shit.
Um,
Sorry,
Yeah,
brother.
so
you'd have a chance. Sorry.
I would have a
too much.
chance. I
You'd have a
mean,
chance.
we'll see.
Yeah, and it doesn't really
Nothing
matter.
like
I think I'm already qualified for the
McMillan.
playoffs, but you know, it would have been nice to keep the undefeated streak going. I've never gone undefeated, and I don't think any of us, and in all the degenerate leagues that we've ever played in, I don't think anybody's ever gone undefeated
The whole
throughout all the way
season,
to playoffs.
all the way
Right,
through.
and playoffs.
No.
My no fear team from way back when 20 years ago went 15-1. You know, I won
Remember
the
that.
championship, and
I hated that team.
That name. It was the name.
It was the name. It was a fucking name, dude.
I know I didn't win the championship that year. I went undefeated in the regular season, and I lost in the playoffs to go 15-1. So that team was the closest, but I don't think anybody's ever gone undefeated. So it'd be kind of cool to pull that off.
Do you guys remember, and I don't know, we were different areas, but there was a group of dumbasses from like Brea High School in the early 90s that went by No Fear Bad Boy Club and had the stickers on the front of their trucks and everything. I ended up fighting those guys a couple times, a couple different reasons. You guys ever hear about those guys?
Well, we used to call people that.
Yeah.
No, there was a group of guys at like Brea High School. They were a little white boy posse club. It was fucking
I was never aware of a club or a gang of individuals, so to speak.
Yeah.
But there was definitely a certain type of person in the 90s that would have on one side of their truck a No Fear sticker, and then on the other side a Bad Boy Club sticker. And that was the thing that Ben and I and a few of our buddies, we would see people and we'd be like, No Fear Bad Boy Club. That was kind of making fun of us. So that's
Yeah.
where that team came
No,
from.
they were real. And Bobby might have been at one of those parties with me. I mean, he wasn't fighting with me. He was on the side, but we fucking.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Any more football stuff you guys want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk Gilly a little bit, brother. You
Yeah,
pick anybody up? You
let's
get
do
anybody?
that.
Me and Nate made out like bandits.
I know you did because you guys all still have money. I put in 9 bids. I tried my hardest. I went hard on with $0 bids on as many guys as I thought I could handle. And I got me a running back. I got me the only one that was available was that I got out of all the guys I asked for was Alexander Madison, and he's
Okay.
he's questionable right now. So I don't know if
I
he's
don't think he's playing.
yeah. So I'm gonna try and get my hands on a couple other guys.
This
Before
time of year is great. I got Higgins and Jonathan Taylor for like $28. That's pretty dope. That's Here's one thing though. I'm playing 4 running backs now. I never build my team's running backs like that. I'm kind of a little scared not to have some big receivers in there.
Yeah, I've got
yeah,
quite a few running backs too. I think I'm playing 3 this week, but a lot of weeks I've played 4 this year. It's just
Really?
been a crazy year with running backs. It's been a complete reversal of the script, and all the good wide receivers are getting injured this year, and there's a bunch of great running backs that haven't been hurt. So I think we'd probably see that in a lot of successful,
Here comes the cycle for next draft season.
right?
yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm starting A-Chain, Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor, and Dobbins. 3 really good and 4, fourth one's decent.
So it looks like Steve finally set his lineup, but I'm fairly certain he forgot about waivers because he had $303. He had the most by far of anybody, double what the second place person had. And he's starting right now. I mean, these aren't horrible players, but considering who he could have gotten, right now he's starting Rico Dowdle. He's starting Jaden Reed. He's starting Jacoby Myers. Like, these are not superstar players. He could have bought all the best players that were available on waivers this week, and I think he just forgot. And I'm wondering if part of that has to do with the fact that he left the thread, so it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Like he's not focused, not paying attention because the thread's not there. So I don't know, something to consider, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, I even tried to get Stevenson, Ramondre, but somebody put a dollar bid in, and I got screwed there too. So
let's see.
I actually dropped Ramondre.
Nick Chubb's available.
I know you did, but I was better option than Nick Chubb's not available. Is he?
Nick Chubb's available. Etienne's available. Jalen Warren, Jordan Mason, Mostert, Brooks, Algier, Estime, Hill, Ray Davis.
Yeah.
Zach. Yeah. I mean, dude, there's a lot of fucking running backs out there. I mean, not studs, but Nick Chubb, he can do it at any time, and he's getting healthier every week.
I was looking at the waiver wire yesterday, and I sorted it by ownership percentage. So like the guys that are owned by the most teams.
Yeah.
And like 5 of the top 6 guys that were on waivers were all guys that I had dropped in the previous week. That's how good my team is. I'm dropping guys that are owned in more than, most of the leagues.
Wow. That's amazing, bro. I'm happy.
Yeah, a little flex there. A little flex.
Yeah.
But Ben, you can pick up Jameson Williams. I mean, I don't think he's going to be great, but, if you need somebody, I mean, there's lots of.
No, I just need a running back. My wide receivers are fine. I just need
there's plenty there.
I just need to grab one more running back.
Your boy Travis Etienne is sitting right there on waivers for you, buddy.
Yeah, he's been horrible. I'll pick him up probably. I'll probably pick somebody up.
Well, if you need a tight end, Cole Kmet's going to finish the year strong because they changed their offensive coordinator. And that guy finally set Gerald Everett. So go get Cole Kmet.
Okay.
And Jordan Mason, who you obviously still believe in since you won't trade him to me, he's right there. So.
No, I'll trade him to you right now. You ready? Let's do it.
Turn on trades. Fuck. Except for
in the main league. In the main league.
Oh, we still have like a day or so before the trade deadline.
Yeah, we do.
We might have to work some trades.
Yeah, I gotta try and get Chase off of Sean still. I'm trying my
I
best.
sent him.
What was your offer?
CD.
Straight up.
CD Lamb. Yep.
No, you didn't do that.
Yeah, I did.
Did you? And does CD's buy has already passed, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a good thought exercise here. Is Sean did not accept CD Lamb, which I can't imagine anybody's going to offer anything better than that.
I have
He
no.
knows that too. And if Dak was still there, we would have had a deal, I think.
But if Dak was there, you wouldn't have offered him.
I would have, because I know I'm going to lose this week to Jeff. I'm counting on that. So I need to win the next two for sure. And Chase is better than CeeDee Lamb. So I would have made that trade even with Dak.
I disagree. I think that, especially the way CD played at the end of last year, I think that if Dak was still there, I think you would have had that in the back of your mind that CD, it's too risky to trade him, especially for a guy who's on a bye in a must-win week, which it is.
My brain says I disagree with you.
But okay, so let's talk about Sean. He puts the offer out there. I think most of us didn't believe that he would actually go through with it and trade Chase. But okay, even if in the event he was, what does he expect people are going to offer that's better than CeeDee Lamb? If
It's
he's
only
not
got to
willing to
be one of
accept,
the top five. And it was CD out of it. There's only three. Jefferson. Who else are you going to do? Jefferson, AJ Brown.
I got AJ
Chase?
Brown.
I don't think
wait,
he's taking. I don't think he's taking those guys either.
you don't
I
think
don't
he's
think
taking
he's
AJ Brown?
Okay.
He's not
He
taking
said-
AJ
Well,
Brown.
then you're just under the belief he wasn't going to do it at all, period. But I'm
Cool.
saying if he was
Especially-
being honest, there's 2 or 3 guys only that he'd probably accept.
I mean, who
Those
is he
three we just
willing?
talked about.
Who are you willing to trade Jamar Chase for? Who
That's-
is it?
that's my
Who-
point.
I mean, no. Is there a list of? Let's just go 3. Are there
no.
3 guys that
It's
you
not.
would?
It's not a straight value for value trade. It's not that he's willing to trade Jamar Chase. It's that he wants to trade Jamar Chase for somebody who's playing this week or somebody that's already had their bypass, so that way he can guarantee himself a win against Josh, right?
Yeah, right.
So he wants to trade Jamar Chase, but he wants somebody to give him a player that's equitable to Jamar Chase. Now, why would somebody do that? If they're equitable, why would they make that trade, knowing that Jamar's on a bye this week? What would be the incentive for that player?
I mean, I just explained to you why I would do it. That's a valid reason.
But CeeDee
I know I'm
Lamb's
going to
not
lose this week to
Jamar
Jeff.
Chase.
Huh?
CeeDee Lamb's not equitable to Jamar Chase, right?
Who is Justin Jefferson?
I mean, Jefferson.
That's
AJ
why
Brown,
my
or
point I was
CeeDee
trying to
Lamb.
make. Justin Jefferson. Who else is up there?
Okay, well, let's look at total points. Right now, total points this
Should
year.
be Tyreek, but not
Jamar
this year.
Chase has 280 points. Second place is Derrick Henry, 230. There's a 50-point gap.
Let's go straight wide receiver, Nate, to keep it clean. Since we only have like 2 minutes left.
There's
Let's keep it in
nobody.
the same position.
There's nobody.
There's
at his
Amon
level.
Ra. Amon Ra has 200, so it's an 80-point gap.
That's
What's
what
the
I
next
said.
2 or 3?
Okay, Justin Jefferson, 188. It's almost a 100-point gap. Then it's CeeDee Lamb at 184.
Okay.
I mean, he's not trading.
You're
for any of them.
you're buying the no buy. is what
So
you're
that's what
doing.
I'm saying. So he's offering he's just throwing it out there just to throw it out there because there's nobody at that level this year that is worth trading for. He's going to take a hit. So yeah, it's just bullshit.
Well, but even with that, you said Chase is at how many points?
280.
Okay, so he's 100 points over 12. Okay, so that's
He had
still,
that huge game
it's
a
still
couple
eight,
weeks
8
ago.
points a game.
Even if
with
you do it
okay,
PPG,
yeah,
because
yeah.
he hasn't had his bye yet.
Yeah.
Chase's PPD is 25.5. I mean, the closest to that is Cup at 21.8. Sean's not trading Jamar Chase for Cup
No. So maybe he wasn't being realistic. Maybe he didn't want to actually trade. But
unless he thought maybe somebody would give him a Godfather offer, give him 3 good players for Chase. But at this point in the
Sean's
season,
pretty sensible. I don't think he was thinking that.
well, yeah, I mean, at this point in the season, you're either a contender, so you can't afford to give away 3 great players,
Yeah.
or you're out of it. And so it's like, what?
Ooh, maybe I go back and hit him up with Kittle and CeeDee Lamb.
Does he have any keepers?
Oh, I don't know.
Keepers don't matter because their shit doesn't transfer.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
I actually
Hey,
thought for a
wait,
quick
hold on
second,
a
should I offer him McCaffrey? But I wonder if he would accept McCaffrey, to be honest with you.
Can
Okay,
you do
hold on.
trade?
You know
can
what?
do-
Oh wait, we're about to end. Nate, did you cheat with Caleb Williams? He's back on your fucking practice squad now. What's going on?
Oh yeah, how'd that happen?
Yeah.
I put him
What
on my
up, Doug?
practice squad. It was illegal. The consequence for an illegal roster is that I must drop the player. I dropped the player.
But why is he back in your practice squad right now?
I picked him back up.
You can't go to your practice squad, right? You can revert. You can put people back down.
Oh
I
yeah,
can put him there. But
can't
if,
be
if
there
the
on
game starts
Sunday.
and he's there, then I'll have to drop him again.
He can't be
Oh.
there on Thursday. Thursday, right? He
Goddamn
can't be there on
loophole.
Thursday. If he's there on Thursday, you're screwed.
Today is Thursday.
He's there now? You're screwed.
Wait, today's Thursday?
By game time, he better not be there. Or
He's
Bobby's
not
gonna.
playing today.
Doesn't
By
matter.
his game time.
Good catch, Bob.